Okay, we are recording. And now we are in the third part, or the end, to the second story in our little chronicle, which is getting bigger and bigger every time because it's taking us forever to do them. Okay, so who wants to go over what happened last time? Sure. Okay. Okay, there we are. So, this episode is going to be a little bit different. What we're doing is resolving the story and progressing as our characters were our heroes were soundly defeated. So we're going to progress through like a montage episode that deals with how they deal with that, any trainings that they do, in the expenditure of their 3 power points that they've earned, and then at the end we have a scene, and then after the scene will be a quick hook to the next story. So there we are. Let's start with Hannah in the hospital. So, Badass Twin disappeared as soon as Hannah went in the hands of the hospital people. I believe that's what we said. Okay. So, and then of course, Lizard Man probably didn't go to the hospital. Okay, he just disappeared. Okay, so it's we're at the hospital a few hours later, and Crash Test Dummy is at the counter, at the nurses counter, or the not the nurses, the like admissions to the ER, talking to them, and how's what condition is Hannah in, and is she going to survive? And they're just telling him that she's in the best care she can be, and they have no guarantees right now. And he just turns and walks away, kind of. I mean, it's hard to tell his expression because he's wearing a helmet mask, but he leaves. And okay, so let's move forward, to when Hannah starts waking up. Will be a couple days later. And we have a scene with Hannah in the hospital bed. I guess they're bringing you like breakfast and stuff. The doctor's talking to her, explaining the situation that you went through, showing you on x-rays where you were shot, the damage, how long it's going to take to recover, which isn't really going to be that long because you're main character of a superhero story. So she's telling you it's going to be like a couple of weeks, when in real life it would have been months. And plus you're in a wheelchair anyway. So, oh my god, I'm paralyzed again? Yeah. Uh, and let's see. We'll have another scene. Rhonda comes and visits Hannah in the hospital, and then we'll have another scene where Hannah's, uh, feeling better, and doctors are telling her that she'll be discharged, so everything's getting better. I don't. You guys don't have any contact, so friends of Hannah, and I guess we could do that. Yeah, the news crews come. It's up to Hannah if she accepts, if she accepts visitors from the press when they come every day. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, they come every day to try and interview her and get information on what happened. You see on TV, you see that they have interviewed Crash Test Dummy, and he says that he doesn't really know what happened because he was on the ground because he doesn't fly and he wasn't up there in the battle on top of the skyscraper. He says, "You see that crane there? I climbed up like a quarter of that crane, and then the lizard man guy came and gave me the girl and said take care of her, and I did, and that was my part in the whole thing. So you guys are talking to the wrong dude." And then of course they keep asking him questions, and he just doesn't have answers, and he doesn't give answers for anything that he would have had. Uh, and then a couple days later, we can have if if Jimmy wants to go first, you can describe the situation where you finally come to your senses and shape change back to a person. I believe so. Yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. There might be a couple left, but just like real life, they're pretty much gone because everybody has a cell phone now. But I mean, if you want there to be one, there can be one. Okay. So Hannah's cell phone rings a few days later, and it's Black's number that he left you with before he, you know, before the whole thing started with the bank last week. It's already been like a week or a few days anyway. So, okay. You want to cut your scene there or you want to keep going? Okay. Yeah. That's cool. Okay. Let's take a scene to crash test dummy. So it is nighttime, so we don't exactly know, which what day it is. It's nighttime. He comes home to a it is a mechanic shop, and in the back is a small apartment. And he goes in, closes the door behind him, takes off his helmet. I have a page. Actually, I had a page it was just you guys' picture, but I could have put a focus on you guys' picture while you were telling your own little. I mean, you got more. So takes off his helmet. Okay, and he walks over to into his bathroom. He's looking in the mirror. Takes off his the shirt part of his outfit, his costume, and underneath is a white T-shirt. It's got splotches of blood all over it, and a deep, deep red, wet blood patch on his right side. And he peels up the shirt, and he's looking at it. You can see in the mirror is a jagged piece of glass sticking out of him. And he grabs hold of it, grits his teeth, and starts tugging it out. And he tugs out a 6-inch jagged shard of glass and just drops it into the sink. And as he watches, and you see in the mirror, the wound just closes over. It doesn't leave a scar or anything. And he stretches. That one sucked. And that's it for his first scene. Okay, who wants anything that you want to add into your time? Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Okay, call him. All right, yeah, okay. He could just be calling. Yeah, he can be driving you around. That's cool. Yeah. Okay. Nope, they don't. That is up to you. Whatever you think is cooler for your story. Okay. I don't know. Sure. There are shops that make superhero stuff and villain stuff. There are. Yup. In fact, Crash will take you to somebody. Yeah, I think they can. And he takes you to I don't know. He takes you to a shop that makes children's football gear for like little league football. That's where he takes you. This guy's got a shop in the back. He can take care of everything you need. Yeah. He kind of does fancier stuff than just like a flak jacket. Like if you want like, you know, a kick-ass crash dummy suit that reflects bullets or something, yeah, this is where you go. Okay. By the way, Crash Test Dummy suit is not a kick-ass Crash Test Dummy suit that reflects bullets. His looks like something he probably buys on Amazon by the dozens. Okay, so yeah, he takes you inside and introduces you to this, just this big dude with a Santa Claus beard who, he works on making and supplying gear for children's football teams, and then in the back he makes stuff for superheroes and villains with his secret mad science chemistry set. Let's name him. His name is I gotta write it down after I come up with it. What? Did you have a just suggestion? No. His name is Joe Armors. His name is Joe Armors with a U in it. Joe Armors. I don't have a picture for him or anything. I just pulled him out of my butt right now. Okay. So yeah, and he takes your commissions, and then he will supply you with whatever you want your suit to look like in a few days. Whatever whatever you told him. Sure. Okay. Yeah. All right. Anything else we want to switch to? Want to switch to Black? Black, have anything you want to add or go over? A scene you want to run that shows some of his hidden personality, or working on some of his training, or anything? Anything really? The Beast Corps? Yes, yes, it would be. No, they're not evil. In fact, it was kind of strange for him to take a hostage. It was not strange for him to suggest that she bring you, like you might have been his target. You guys have kind of a rivalry going, but for him to take a hostage is a little bit out of character for him. So, you know what? Yeah, make an investigation check. Let's see what you get. That's pretty good. Okay. So, you don't want any direct contact with Beast Corps people except for anyone that you are on good terms with, because you're trying to stay hidden from them. So, what you find out is that a couple of people think Mr. Monkey Man has been acting strange, including uh, the top guy. Um, what's his name? Grizzly Monsoon. Yeah, it's Grizzly Monsoon. He's got shark powers and he makes it rain blood. Um, yeah, so people are curious about him. It's nothing obvious, just the people that know him feel like he's acting strangely. Other than that, there's not really any information of like, you know, nothing seems to be going on out of the ordinary. Well, I guess they are kind of trying to rally together and take advantage of the fact that there aren't heroes around, but they don't have like, you're not finding any information of like what their plans are or anything like that. Yeah, yeah, they seem to be taking uh, a stronger interest in crimes, and they're like a little bit riskier stuff because the honor society isn't there to slap them around. So basic, you know, just their handle on crime has risen. They seem to be collecting some resources. Okay, so he's practicing on low-level criminals. Okay, we'll do a scene of that in a minute. That's cool. That's a good idea. Okay, we'll do a scene of that in a minute. Let's go to a scene for Crash Test Dummy. It is early evening, and he is inside of a big open room with a bunch of chairs in a circle, about 8 people in those chairs. He's one of them, and they are having an Alcoholics Anonymous meeting. And when one person, finishes telling his story, then the lady that's in charge of it, looks over. She says, she looks over at him and says, "Ajax, is there anything that you want to share tonight?" I mean, just shakes his head. And it's not Crash Test Dummy. It's the same guy that you saw in the image of, without his helmet. And he just, he shakes his head and waves her off. Yeah. And, the lady looks at him and she's got sad eyes. And she says, you've come every night this week. Are you sure that you don't want to make a share tonight? And he just shakes his head. No. Okay. And she moves on. And someone else stands up and starts telling his story. And then a few minutes later, everyone's shuffling their way out. And Ajax is in the corner getting himself a donut from the box of donuts that's on the little table. And that same lady, who's running the thing, comes over and talks to him. Says, "I'm worried about you." And he shoves a donut in his face, talks around it. "Don't worry, I'm all right." No, no, you're not all right. And he just looks at her. "Yeah, don't worry about it. I'm good. I'm good." Then he gives her a hug and he turns around and starts walking away. And she just stands and watches as he leaves. Next! Who's next? Does Hannah have anything else she wants to go over? I mean, she might be. She might be done. Okay. Black, you want to go over yours? Okay. You don't want to do a scene with Rhonda or with your parents or anything on a personal level? Oh, I'm talking to Hannah. Well, you too, really. If you want to do anything with your parents. No? Okay. Okay. Is there anyone important in her life that you want to introduce to the story? And it's fine if not. What that means is that, you know, she's really not that close to anyone. She might be a social person, but not on a personal level where no one's really important, or at least not relevant to the story. Could have a scene with Badass Twin if you want to have a talking scene with somebody. You got to find a way to kick her out, but you could even have a scene where you're trying to kick her out on purpose. I don't know. And you can also just be done and not have another montage scene. I do not care. This episode is about you guys telling your story. Oh, okay. That's good. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's good. Okay. Okay. Yeah, so we go through that scene where you're watching her pack. You watch her pack and you watch her leave and she looks back at you. Nobody says anything. It's just kind of sad. And she leaves and closes the door. Hmm. Yep. Yeah. Hmm. Okay. 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 Black, you want to do your scene on some low street criminals? Practicing your style? Go for it. Drug dealer? Okay. 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 The the windows through there? I don't like a sunroof kind of, but hmm, yeah, I don't know what that's called. It's like a glass ceiling kind of. Oh, okay. Oh yeah. Okay. Uh-huh. Okay. 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 Do you want to stop it there, or you want to take it to a conclusion and start and get a bad guy or something? Get the boss. Okay. Cool. All right. Cool. And then the police show up and arrest everybody. Okay. Mhm. Oh, there it is. Okay. Then we got another crash test dummy scene. That's my last crash test dummy scene. Ajax scene. So we see because he's not all bloody or anything. He's just wearing normal street clothes, and he comes home. He's got a bag, a paper sack. He comes home. He's got his keys in his hand, and he goes over to a little like a little gun safe that he's got like on the side by the door. Puts in a code, opens it up, and he throws his car keys inside, and he closes it, and he sets a timer on it for 6 a.m. He walks over towards his couch, plops down on it, takes a deep sigh. He opens up the paper sack, pulls out a shot glass from the paper sack, a whiskey bottle from the paper sack, and a revolver, which he sets down on the table. Opens the bottle, pours himself a shot, puts the bottle down, takes his shot, spins, and he spins the revolver with his left hand on the table, just spinning it around. And it fades to black from there. Okay, anybody have anything else, or I will move us along. Nope. Okay, so this will be before Hannah gets her costume, since you haven't designed it yet. It'll be like the day before you get your costume. And it's morning, and you are downtown at a it didn't move you over there. A daytime talk show called The Gifted. It is The Gifted with Rachel Flowers. Rachel Flowers has like a slight version of poison ivy powers. She can manipulate plant life, but kind of in a just barely way. But anyway, she is gifted. And but more than that, she's a local celebrity, and she has you know, she has the gifted on her show all the time. She's got heroes, she's got villains, just anybody that she can that anyone that wants to tell their story, is on her show. And so today is the three of you, and also Susan McKenzie is here. Susan McKenzie was brought out first. They had a conversation about her relationship with the White Knight and how she's doing in the what it's been like almost 2 weeks since his disappearance. And then, she they cut to commercial, and when they come back, she says, "And we have a surprise for everybody." And then they bring out the three of you. Okay. And you guys are on the Gifted with Rachel Flowers. And Rachel and Susan stand up, invite you in. You guys come in, sit down on chairs, and you're thankful that Susan McKenzie is here and not the other fucking asshole, because he sucks. No, it's a different channel, but they're both the two top uh, reporters in the city. Falarin Eckles is the other guy, and yeah, you're It's a whole lot better that she's here than he is. Okay, so do you guys have a team name yet? Team names. This is Rachel Flowers talking. Well, the city has a lot of suggestions, and she pulls up like a stack of index cards, and our producers have picked a few of them because they they thought that you guys wouldn't have your team name yet. So let's see what we've got. And she changes the card. It says the New Honor Society of Wavaris. I don't really like that one. She puts it down. How about Heroes of Wavaris? Well, that's what do you guys think? Are you the heroes of Wavaris? Yeah, what else? Crash says. We've got Hannah's Crashback. Hannah's Crash Black. Sorry. Hannah's Crash Black. I mean, I kind of like Hannah's Black Crash better than that, Flower says. But, I mean, what do you guys think? These are all sent in by our audience, by the way. The people love you. Oh, well, that's perfectly understandable. What do you think, Susan? Do you have a suggestion for them? And she says, I didn't come with anything prepared, but I guess let me take a quick stab at it. We could do something like uh oh, I don't know. I don't have anything. Nope, I don't have anything. The unexpected is good. I like that, Susan says. Crash shrugs his shoulders. Yeah, I feel kind of unexpected. All right. And Rachel Flowers claps. I think you're the unexpected. At least until you guys could come up with something better. The defaults isn't too bad either. The unexpected. So, Hannah, everybody's wanting to know, are you seeing anybody right now? Oh, you hear that, everybody? The superhero is open for the taking. And Susan McKenzie kind of rolls her eyes like she's been here and it's stupidly annoying. She doesn't look like she has a whole lot of respect for Rachel Flowers just from her demeanor. Okay, so you guys, the bank robbery by the baker, where you ate the evidence. What happened? Tell us the story. Let the city of Wovarus hear from your own words. What happened? How'd it go? The bank robbery. Me too, Crash says. And I just drive the car, so I can't really tell you what happened inside either. All eyes are on Black. Yeah, I died, and then I became a lizard, and I don't remember very good. Well, all eyes are on Black. We saw, yeah, we saw on the cameras that Black went inside, and then Lizard Man came running out. Care to explain that to the people? What was that all about? Well, I think we all understand that reaction. That was a pretty scary thing. Maybe it was a friends with the baker then. Okay. How about you, Susan? Do you have any questions for the unexpecteds? And Susan looks over at you all. What are your plans for dealing with the Beast Corps? Crime has doubled in the last 2 weeks. Most of it due to the Beast Corps. I realize, Hannah, that you've been in the hospital, so there's. I just wondered. The people want to know if you guys have any plan at this point. They have been taking over small time street level things like uh, drugs and gambling. A lot of it gambling. They seem to be getting into the street level business of a criminal network. Not yet. It's only been a couple weeks, so no. Just a bit, there's just been a lot of murders and new leadership. And then there's also been there's been a lot of store robberies and stuff like that. Like gas station robberies, jewelry store robberies. Not really. Oh, thank you. Okay. And then Susan with her, her serious look. And there is one thing that we've already asked, but everyone in the city is still asking this question. Where is Major Wargasm? Is he gone or is he in hiding? Are we finally rid of that sadistic prick? No, you have no. You've heard nothing at all. Well, yeah, that's great news. Rachel Flowers says, "Great news for the whole city. Major Wargasm and his chaos army finally seem to be gone. It came at it came at quite uh, the expense, but at least there's a silver lining to that expense." Okay. Is there anything that you guys want to say to your fans? Yeah, you can set up something like, uh-huh. Give that. Well, you could be in the process of making it. You could name it something of the unexpected. The crash line. It should be the crash line. It's got to be the crash line, Black. Hell yeah. Now he's Kite Man. Okay. Yeah, the crash line. That's great. Okay. All right. Anything else? Should we take some calls? All right. Well, let's take some calls. Calls that I didn't have planned, so I got to pull out of my ass. Um. All right. So, and then the voice just comes like on the, on the speakers on the intercom, and I don't know. We'll say this is Sam Johnson. So yeah, this is Sam Johnson, long time listener, first time caller. I just want to say you guys are doing a good job, and I would have ate that donut too. Okay, well I guess he doesn't have a question. Yeah, he's already hung up. Well, I guess he doesn't have a question. But you can see that not everybody's against you for having eaten the evidence, she says with air quotes. You know, I, it was Nana that ate the evidence, though. Okay. Then we get okay. Any other calls? And we've got another call coming through. I'm watching you, and you guys hear right away, and you can tell the voice of Mr. Monkey Man. You know, as a matter of fact, I have not had my banana today. Okay. No, I mean, no, he does. He does just because he's kind of leaning into the whole monkey theme. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, I think we're gonna leave that caller, and they cut the line. Well, that was interesting. So tell us about the situation we had with that you had with Mr. Monkey Man last week, who, if you guys aren't aware, is second in command of the Beast Corps. Ooh, and the Beast Corps, if you're new to the city, is a group of animal-themed villains who right now seem to be taking over the streets of Wavaris. They're run by the Grizzly Monsoon, who's a big hell of a man with a big shark head, and at least that's what I hear. And when he kills people, it rains blood. Yep, that's what I hear. What do you? How about you, Susan? Have you seen any sign of this? And she looks over at Susan. Yes, and it does rain blood. It's not pretty. And Rachel Flowers, like the wind, kind of comes out of her sail. The fact that Susan is not stole her bubbly. You know, yeah. And she tries to get it back. So tell us about the situation with Mr. Monkey Man. Tell us the story. How you saved Rhonda, who was your dorm roommate, right? Hannah? I helped, kind of, Crash says. I helped. I climbed like 50 feet on a crane and then that's all. Oh, well, I heard that you were there, but we don't have any footage of it. So I guess the information was wrong. You don't have it, Hannah? We hear that you got shot by Mr. Monkey Man, who is supposedly an expert sniper. How are you feeling now? Well, that's good. That's good. That's good. Okay. Well, anything else that you guys want to talk about before we go to commercial? Before we go to break? Anything you guys want to say to your fans? Now's your chance. Wavaris is watching. Okay, kids, you heard it here. Stay away from drugs. Okay. Stay away from drugs, and we'll be right back. Okay. All right, we're on commercial. Oh, you guys are doing a great job. And she's just looking at you guys with this big stupid grin on her face. Are you having a good time? You need a drink or some water or anything? Susan, you need some water or anything? Susan just no. Can I go? We just have one more segment. Come on. All right. Yeah. Yeah, I'd say I have been. What's your question? Yeah. You know, after the show, let's go. Let's get a lunch or a coffee or something, and we can talk about it. And I actually have some things of the White Knights that I can share with you guys. Give you a little bit of background information on the city and the villains in the city. Okay. Rachel Flowers or Susan? Susan doesn't have any powers. Mm-hmm. She's just a reporter. And Rachel Flowers can make a seed turn into a flower in about 2 minutes. That's not going to stop a bank robber. There are a lot of gifted people. There's hundreds of gifted people in this city who's, you know, you guys are a 10 power level rating and they're still a 3. Maybe with proper discipline and training, they can bump themselves up, but they'll still probably never be anything like what you guys can do. And there are also there's a dozen or so minor heroes in this city that are not up to you guys' level. That are like power level 6, where a cop is power level 3 or 4. People that have some super strength or whatever, but they're not on your level and not on the level to fight any of these villains. They have their own street level villains. People who is super strong and can, rip their way through a van, not pick it up and throw it at people. Okay. And the guy's off camera, holds up his fingers. Three, two, one. And we're back, Rachel Flowers says. We're here today with Susan McKenzie and what did we call you guys? The Unexpecteds. Hannah, Black, and Crash Test Dummy. And she gets excited and claps. Yay! And I've got a surprise for you guys. We're also have two more guests from the Drakenwald Corporation. That's right. And she stands up. Give it for Avril and Cornell Drakenwald. And the live audience claps, and she claps all like happy and excited. Yay! And out of another back room where you guys did not meet them, and I will open their pictures. Where's my GM button? Well, if there is for me, not for you. Cornell and Avril Drakenweld. So Cornell comes in first. He is wearing a blue suit with, and the suit is the exact same colors as his scales, and the exact same color as his scales and his suit. He has steel or possibly some other kind of metal pauldrons on his shoulders, shoulder pads that look like actual real armor in a stylish way that accents his suit. He looks very much like a dragon, like a bipedal dragon with dragon face and everything. And his sister, who comes in behind him, is wearing a pantsuit. Her tone is much more teal than his blue, and her face has much more human features than his does. And everybody's clapping. So the Drakenweld Corporation is one of the biggest tech corporations in the world, and they're based here in Wavaris. And they come and they sit down on another couch. They sit down together. And this is Cornell and Avril. Cornell is the CEO of the company, and Avril is the and she looks down at her card, is the head of research and development. Is that correct? And actually, it's the other way around, Avril says. I'm the CEO and Cornell is the head of research and development. Oh, my notes are wrong. Silly me. Well, have you two managed to meet, what did we call you guys? The unexpecteds. Hannah Black and Crash Test Dummy, or Crash as we've been calling him. I have not had the opportunity, Cornell Drakenweld says, holding out his hand towards Black. It's nice to meet the new heroes responsible for keeping us all safe. Avril Dragonwell does not offer to shake anybody's hand. Hey, you guys have anything you want to say? They are into they do a lot of technological things. They've got like computers, and they have a brand of cell phones that they make. They have a brand of TVs that they make. They make a lot of like microprocessors and stuff that are in a lot of other things that other people make. And for the last 5 years, they've been heavily into robotics. Like you, yeah. Okay. Oh, I'm so glad that you enjoy our products. Free advertising, right? And Cornell looks over towards the camera and gives this dragon wink. People love him. He's always been kind of the public face of the company, which is probably why they thought he was the CEO, but his sister's the CEO. Okay. Well, the Drakenwelds are here because they have a surprise. Not only for you, the heroes of the city, but for all the people in the city who are wondering what we're going to do when the villains rise up and try to murder us all. Right? Isn't that right? And she looks over and Avril nods her head. That's absolutely right, Rachel Flowers. She seems to have very little actual uh, social presence. She's not very good at. She's good at giving commands. You can tell. She's not good at having a social career, social life. Both. It's very rare for her to put herself in the public. You guys have not seen very many pictures of her. Whereas Cornell Drakenweld is like on the cover of Drakenweld magazine. Okay. So, yeah, we've actually brought something that we want to introduce you all to. Cornell, and she looks over at him, and he stands up. He's like, okay, I'll be right back. This is going to be good. You guys are all going to like this. It's going to be great. I hope it works. And he goes and he walks backstage. And he comes back and he holds open the door. Here we go. Let me introduce to you. Am I on my GM screen? Let me introduce to you the Drakenweld RSPV 1.0, which we are introducing to the Wavaris Police Department as we speak. And walking in behind him at about 8 feet tall, it stoops down through the doorway to enter, is a robot policeman with machine guns on his shoulders, and in his right hand, well, his hand, both his hands are empty, but on the side where he can grab it with his right hand is a uh, ball and chain flail. This is the new police unit that we are adding to the Wavaris police force to help our heroes as well as our police deal with the new influx uh, of you know criminal lowlifes that seem to be taking root in our city. And I got to be thankful, honestly, that they don't have to go up against the Chaos Army because yeah, it would have been a really great test for them. But I am perfectly fine with my new guys, fighting street level thugs instead of these those crazy guys. So yes, okay, RSPV 1.0, wave to the cameras. And it stops and it looks over at the camera with its slow moving head, lifts his hand, and it waves. Hello, I am RSPV 1.0. Yay! Rachel Flowers is excited. Yay! Our city is safe again. You guys have anything you want to say or do? Okay, you want to bring that up? Yeah. Are you bringing this up? Yeah. Well, the AI is sound. What worries us most, and we have taken every precaution to keep this under control. But what worries us most is hackers. Not really that the AI goes crazy and tries to take over the world. That's not going to happen. We got that problem settled. But hackers who can go in and then take control of our robotic police force, right? But we have the most secure system, and we also have a team of cybersecurity there to enhance, protect, and guide and troubleshoot all of the active RSPV 1.0s. We are launching 12 of these. One will go to every one of the 12 precincts of the city, and there will be more to follow. But this is kind of a test run that we will just be starting this week. It's a very exciting time for us, Avril Drakenweld says. And it's a very exciting time for the city as the city learns to move on without the honor society and learn to trust in our new heroes. We hope that the RSPV 1.0 will function as a tool to help support you. You can make a dice roll to look for structural weaknesses. Make an I don't remember what all the skills are. What do you think it would be? And I'll tell you. Sure. Yeah. That would be more for the actual hacking of it, but yeah, technology will work. Well, it's not a vehicle. No. No, it's not vehicle. It's going to be technology or possibly even insight or yeah, I don't know. I think technology is probably good. You do not see any vulnerabilities. I mean, you're looking, it's very well armored. You don't see any spots between the armor. It looks like a like you I mean you don't know the specs on it, like what kind of what level of ammunition that it can repel or anything like that, but just from cursory glances, it should be able to repel all small arms fire with no difficulty. It's everything that you would expect it to be. But you also realize that there are criminals with a lot greater ability to analyze it than you have, and they may find something. But of course, I mean that is its job. So its creators should have done everything they can to make it secure, unless of course they did everything they can to create their own soldiers in the police force to take over the city. And he's got machine guns sticking out of his shoulders that are on they'll come forward. They'll come up and forward to aim forward. Oh, he's got tasers. He's got tasers. Mm-hmm. He doesn't have a stun baton. He's got tasers, and if he needs to enter into close combat, he'll be using the flail. And with the reason we went with a flail instead of a baton or a police stick is well, because I wanted him to look like a knight, and I thought it was cool. And then nobody stood up to me. That's why Cornell says I think it's badass and it's going to work really well. But it's kind of a last resort weapon because if he's in a deadly firefight, he's going to be using the guns. He's got missile launchers. He's got tasers. He's got ways to deal non-lethal damage for taking out, just your normal people that don't need to be, killed on the street. And then he's got ways of dealing with lethal situations to protect people. And the flail is mostly there for, if he really needs to smash his way through something. Yeah. The flail is kind of his last resort weapon. I almost gave him a sword instead, but the sword will kill people, where the flail will crush bones and they won't necessarily die. So I went with the flail. I think that we are working on some other some other models, and they'll function side by side, and those other models will be armed in different ways for more specialized tasks. Oh yeah, he looks badass, doesn't he? And Cornell Drakenweld walks over to it, holds up his hand, and says, "RS RSPV 1.0, high five!" And it lifts up his hand and it high fives with Cornell Dragonwald, and it says, "High five." Yeah! Cornell comes and sits back down. And his sister kind of rolls her eyes like, "Why am I here?" That's the, 12. We're sending one to all 12 precincts of the city. We're working on more, and we're working on alternate versions. This is Avril speaking. We already supply the police force with their drones, the ground drones, for like to the bomb squad drones and things like that. We already supplied them, so it's right up our alley. We're not new to this, and this city is our first test. If this works, then we will be we'll we're hoping in the next 5-10 years we can send a set to First City to help keep the entire empire safe. Okay, we'll just cut the scene to black there, and we can have a scene where you guys are meeting with Susan and she's giving you paperwork. Let's do that. We're at a cafe where I guess the three of you are having lunch with Susan, and she has boxes of files. She's got 3 boxes of paper files, and she just hands them over, and you guys look through them. And these are paper files on villains. So the White Knight didn't believe in using technology for everything, and uh, he kept paper files so that he said that electronic files could be changed, and everybody would just expect them to to say what they're supposed to say, even though they got hacked and the information was changed. So he didn't trust it. So where the rest of the honor society always looked up stuff on the computer, he went and looked through his own paper files and compared them. So if someone was going to like change their information on him, they would have changed it in the computer and would not have expected him to have paper files to compare that to. So they would have had to break into his home and change these files too. And most people just expected him to, to only keep digital files. So I think he would be happy for you guys to have this. It was kind of his side project, his hobby, to keep track of the heroes, the villains, all the low level heroes and villains. There's a list of everybody he was aware of in the city that is gifted, and then there's even the people that aren't gifted. He has information on the different the different members of the police precincts, and his opinions on them, the the different criminal organizations in the city, his opinions on them and their leadership. He was a very meticulous person. And now it's yours. Well, use it to keep us all safe. That's what he would have wanted. That's what he would have wanted. Everything he did was to keep us safe. What was his opinion on the cars that the criminals drove? Did Was there, like, did he have a favorite car? I don't know. You'll have to look through the files. Okay. Hey, Black, let me know if he had a favorite car. I'm not gonna read that shit. All right, cool. All right. Okay, we'll fade to black on that scene. So all okay, go ahead. Yeah. Okay. She does not return the favor. She does not give you her number. You have the number to the news where she works anyway. The news where I've and the police. But she does not give you her personal number. And yeah, and we'll fade to black there. And then our last scene will be, let's see, if this was a TV show, we would have three different screens running, showing what all three of you were doing. And for some reason, you guys are all somewhere where you see the TV or listen to the radio. So the TV or the radio, whatever it is, uh, it kind of goes to snow for a second, and then it becomes clear. And let me pull her face up. And you were looking at. Did I never put her on here? I didn't. I meant to. We'll just pull up her. Oh, I'll do it from there. Put you in the villains meetup page. Move over there. Okay. And let me go to my maps. She's not on maps. Let me go to my tokens. Okay, make her bigger. Okay, so what was her name? Lady Embers appears on the screen, and she's standing there, very much like this, with fires burning behind her, and she's not holding the camera out in front of her. There's a cameraman. Someone is recording her, and she says, "Hello, Wavaris, and I am Lady Embers, and I'm here to make a challenge. Tomorrow night, I'm going to kill Avril Drakenweld of the Drakenweld Corporation. If any heroes want to try and stop me, I'll see you there." And then it goes to snow. And it returns to your regular scheduled program. And that's where we'll stop. Well, I mean, like 3 minutes later, you guys' phone rings. All three of you guys' phones ring. Okay. Put her down there. All right, we're done. Let's see. And this was the end of the second story and our hook to get us started on the third one. Okay, you guys want to spend your points or anything? You get another one. So you have 4 now. Yeah. So you want to go? You wanting to spend your points on anything? Let's see. We need to buy some stuff for Hannah. I guess we can do this out of picture. We went over the the stories of it, so we can end the recording, and we can handle this on the side. So yeah, okay. Thank you for watching, and that's all. Stop recording. I said stop recording.